random acts of kindness that will restore your faith in humanity. Many of us have lost faith in humanity, and with good reason. But I guarantee you that many fabulous people still roam the earth, and if you stick around, you will see what I mean. So let's get started. In this video, a kind man helps an elderly person cross an extremely busy boulevard by putting out his arm and asking people to stop for a few seconds so they can cross the street. When this little boy goes to hug a man pretending to be a gold statue, the man has no other choice but to hug the boy back. His role is not to move, but how can one resist such an adorable toddler? This magician makes this little girl's day when he shows her how he makes the little red ball disappear, and it blows her away, especially when it reappears in her hand. This little girl becomes so emotional when she sees her relative graduating. The woman asks her why she's crying, and the little girl answers that she's happy for her before giving her a kiss. This daddy is making his daughter so happy by painting her nails that she gives daddy a kiss on the forehead, and daddy reciprocates by giving his daughter a kiss as well. These kids are so happy because they finally have access to fresh drinking water in their neighborhood. It may not seem like a lot because we take water for granted, but these kids did not have access to drinking water until someone generously paid for the service. When Grandpa brings a brand new bike to his granddaughter, she can't believe her eyes and runs into Grandpa's arms to thank him. Mom is also happy to see her daughter ecstatic about her new bike. After 6 years of not seeing his brother, these people play a trick on him and film him while he stands behind them without them knowing it. When they look at the video and see him, they are spooked until they realize what is really going on and jump into their brother's arms. This grandfather's grandkids are so happy to see him returning home after a long 7-month stay at the hospital. When they walk into the room and see him, they jump into his arms and hug him, which makes Grandpa extremely emotional. After moving out of the country because of a new job, this woman flew back home to surprise her childhood friend, who was 9 months pregnant at the time. The girls are so happy to see each other. The woman in this video asked her grandparents to write their names for a college project, but in reality, it was for her to tattoo their names on her body. She wanted the names to be written in their handwriting, and she will forever remember their reaction when they saw the names. These two little boys are meeting their kid brother for the first time, and they become so emotional when they first enter the hospital room and see him. It's worth $1 million. This amazing little boy is so happy to go see his brother first thing in the morning, and by the looks of it, the little guy is just as happy, and he hugs his happy brother. After Mom installs a hearing aid into her little boy's ear, he cries because he doesn't want anything in his ear. But watch his face. After he hears them for the first time because of the hearing aid, this is extremely touching to watch. Nearly 3 years ago, 3 doctors told this family that there was a possibility their little boy might never speak. They warned the parents he could eventually speak, but they wanted to lower their expectations so there would be less of a disappointment if he didn't. At the time, it broke Mom's heart, but she kept pushing and working with her little guy, and the hard work paid off. This artist gives a disabled child his jacket after a concert, and the young man yells out his content and shows how much he appreciates the gesture. When this cancer victim gets her new wig, she can't believe how good she looks once she has it on her head and can't stop playing with her new hair. After being saved by this kind lady, this cute penguin is released back into the wild, but he's not sure he wants to go back. After hesitating for a few seconds and looking at the woman, he runs into the water and heads back home. When this little boy sees the gift his daddy bought him for his birthday, he can't help but run to his father to hug and thank him. When a man begins to fall asleep on the bus and his head swings back, the man behind him places his hand on the chair so he doesn't hit his head. There is still kindness in the world. This little boy decided he would greet all the passengers on this flight as he was entering the plane. He can be seen waving his hand at everyone as he slowly walks by each row. During a hurricane, people work together to save someone that remains stuck in his car. They can be seen carrying the elderly man through the water back to safety, risking their own lives in the process. When this man heard an elderly lady say she was afraid to go down the stairs, he immediately offered his assistance to help her through it. This 16-year-old teenager reaches out to a homeless person sitting on a bench on a windy and cold day to offer the person a comforter to keep him warm. It's nice to see young people growing up to be caring individuals. The man in this video gave this woman his umbrella since she was waiting outside in the rain. It's not like he had to do it, but he went out of his way to help her out. To support his dad with leukemia, this young man decided to shave his head. The father is touched by his son's gesture and can't believe his eyes that his son decided to do this for him. This cute and kind chimp decides to feed the fish, and it's not to lure them in so he can snatch a few to eat. It is simply to feed them so they can eat. This praying mantis is thirsty, so when a man gives the insect a small bowl of water, the mantis checks it out first as if it knows it's water and then begins to drink. After seeing this little boy freezing outside on a cold day in Philadelphia, a man takes the child in his arms and warms him up as he carries him home. When a child finds himself stranded in the middle of what looks like a major flood, a man can be seen risking his life to get to the child, and he does. Now hopefully the two will be able to get back to safety without too much trouble. When this man helps this woman put her groceries inside her car, she tells him she has recently lost her son, and that's when the man decides to give her a hug. When this young lady sees a homeless man sleeping on the ground against the wall of a McDonald's, she decides to give him some food. This man shows his disabled brother a shortcut that was built in his house just for him. The brother is ecstatic and so happy, he can't stop laughing in appreciation of the kind gesture. This almost feels like an episode of Get Smart. What looks like a man hitting a cyclist to hurt her turns out to be the save of a lifetime, because the cyclist was heading straight for her deathbed towards a busy road at full speed with her bike and was going to be crushed by a speeding car if the man hadn't done what he did. When a dog falls in a dirty canal, a few good Samaritans use a basket to save the dog and pull him up. The dog is fine and wags his tail to thank the people who saved him. During a major flood, pets are stranded all over the place, but the community rallies together and everyone does his part to save the animals. This is the perfect example of working in unison for a good cause. Here's a little guy who is learning how to walk, but he hasn't mastered it yet, just yet. So when he tilts and begins to fall, his mom pulls one of the sweetest moves I have seen in a long time and grabs the little fellow right in the nick of time, preventing him from banging his head on the ground. At that age, we all know how fragile a toddler's head is, so this could have had severe consequences had mom not acted as quickly as she did. I'm quite sure you feel somewhat better about the human race after seeing these videos. I told you so. Which one was your favorite? Why don't you let us know in the comments below? Well, that's it for now. If you enjoyed this video, please give us a like and let us know in the comments what you think. Check out our other videos and subscribe to be part of the fun. Click on the notification icon so you can see our new videos as soon as they're uploaded. Thanks for watching and see you next time.